Listen to the roar. Croke Park ready for action. The first of the All-Ireland hurling semi-finals, Kilkenny against Cork. And I suppose there's a discernible tension in the air for this particular clash of the great rivals. 3 in a row ambitions have been shattered for both teams in equal measure in the last 10 years. It's Brian Gavin from Offaly who's in charge, and it's Kilkenny who play from left to right in the first half. Try to get the pressure on the Cork back straight away as Aidan Fogarty goes in, and that is a sensational start. A point inside the opening 10 seconds, very first attack, and the man announces his return to the starting 15 with a wonderful and typical point.
Yeah, Jaron, a man who'd be very disappointed to be left off the team earlier in the Leinster Championship. Noel Hickey and Asaki, a little bit of a schmozzle down the square there straight away.
As Taggy
TJ Ryan is out as well.
Well, this is maybe the tension I was talking about a little bit a while ago, and it spills over, and Brian Gavin goes down and tells them to try and have sense. And once they get this out of their system, it happened in Porky-Queeve in that league match as well, where there was a player sent off, and once that burst of emotion and passion and tension and all the rest of it was finished and over and done with, they got on with the hurling. I think something similar will probably happen here. Yeah, Saki spoken to, and Noel Hickey as well.
Straight away. Brian Gavin, his style is normally to let the game flow early on, but you know, I think this is a game everyone knows you have to take control of early on.
Well, that he's done. Now let's get on with the hurling. This is how it happened. Getting to know you slap that time, and then Asaki responds. Pressure back on the Kilkenny defence, and it's John Dalton who's having a wonderful season. Gets that ball in towards his inside forward line. Richie Power in there at full forward. That'll be a very tasty duel against Owen Cadigan as John Gardner tries to come out with it, running into a group of Kilkenny half forwards, and immediately they close the door on his progress there, 45 metres out from the Cork goal. Shutting the door immediately, they're making sure that he doesn't get out easily or lightly to make those long clearances. They've done their homework. They'll remember what happened in the game against Tipperary when John Gardner was the launching pad of so many scores. Right now it's Cha Fitzpatrick, and Cha puts this one to the left and he puts it wide. First wide of the match, but Kilkenny have the opening score.
Yeah, Kilkenny have started very brightly. Lovely little flick on by Owen Larkin there, and rarely you see Cha hitting the ball wide. He's normally deadly accurate from play.
So a puck out then for Donald O'Cusack, going towards the right half forward. It's over there, of course, that Cian McCarthy is making his debut. Taken away by JJ Delaney, his marker. Up there beyond the inside forwards. Hand passed away out of trouble there by Shane Murphy, out as far as Sean O'Halpine. Easy one for Brian Hogan at centre half back to deal with. Comes forward, looks composed. Again, trying to place it accurately. Shane Murphy, number 17, getting across over to Gardner, quickly away, down into the corner there, where there's a switch with Ben O'Connor going right and Pat Horgan going left. Again, it's Brian Hogan with his second possession. Kieran Murphy, his marker, will have to try and close him down, and a little better than that because Hogan's away and he was fouled, and there's a... Or did he do the fouling? Yes, he may have caught it 3 times is what the referee is saying.
Or thrown the ball, I think, maybe.
Well, it hit the ground, didn't it?
Yeah, strange one.
Yep. And he ends up being a free to Cork. John Gardner's going to be the one to take it.
Yeah, and Jerry, just that catch of JJ Delaney's, I was just looking at with the sun, I could hardly see it myself, and he caught it, came out in from nowhere and caught it. Brilliant catch, and just showed straight away, even though Cian McCarthy is there for that reason, to stop him catching it, he starts straight away again.
So Gardner launching it long, very long, to the right, and it's misdirected. Well, they'll have to be very, very accurate with their use of set-piece plays, frees from distance like that one, and closer in frees. Dennis Walsh appreciating the immensity of the task this afternoon as PJ Ryan pucks it out. Beyond Henry Shefflin, Gardner comes across, sweeps over towards Niall McCarthy, loses it. Once again whipped back in, Cha Fitzpatrick in as far as Owen Larkin, trying to dart inside, met by 2 Cork markers, back out to Cha Fitzpatrick again, tries to make his way forward, well hooked, comes back here to Ronan Curran, nice delivery in as far as Kieran Murphy, the Cork captain, spread across over here towards Cathal Naughton. Naughton about to be closed down by JJ Delaney. needs options. Murphy's there and he's pondered on it. In came Henry Shefflin. Henry Shefflin has a go. It's going right and it's gone wide. So another one goes wide of the target for Kilkenny.
Yeah, Cathal Loughlin had a great chance there just to flick the ball up to Cian McCarthy and get him into the game. Ronan Curran now down injured, which will be a big worry. Great hook there by Niall McCarthy, covered right back to field.
And it ended up there with Ronan Curran requiring the attention of Declan O'Sullivan, the physio, and Con Murphy, the team doctor. Well, there was concern about Brian Hogan, the other number 6, the Kilkenny number 6, going into this match with a hand injury. But Ronan Curran again would be one of those players Cork would find it very difficult to replace, should he have to be replaced, having already lost Shane O'Neill, who is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think there's not too much argument about it, really. No,
there isn't. A huge loss to Cork, but their backline, you know, traditionally over the last decade, you have to say, have been outstanding. A lot of experience there, and a big test on them today. But both teams, you know, starting well enough, but a bit of nerves and a couple of wides there, which you wouldn't normally expect, but it'll settle down now in a few minutes.
Well, substitutes preparing, and it looks like Ronan Curran is going to be able to continue playing at his 43rd championship match this afternoon. In the 6th minute, Cork looking for their first score still, as Donald O'Cusack lets fly with that one down into the half forwards. Out to attack it there was Tommy Welch, going after it again himself, kicked forward by Cathal, knocked in into space. John Dalton's there, good delivery back up towards Richie Power, breaks it out by Shane Murphy. Onto it quickly came Larkin, back in towards Power. Kilkenny in full flow, dangerous attack move here, and the ball eventually overcarried, and it's going to be a free out. Richie Power just taking too much out of that one, and Owen Cadigan delighted with the decision and with the ability of Cork backs just to hold on and make sure that they didn't give a free away lightly and force the Kilkenny man into overholding.
Yeah, really, Owen Larkin should have tapped that one over the bar, you know, early in the game just to settle them.
Cian McCarthy trying to get to that one, comes to Henry Shefflin instead. 51st championship match today, and that is a superb strike. First of the afternoon. Well, he keeps on adding to his very, very impressive points tally. He's already got 23 goals. Right now he's got 390 points, and it's Kilkenny who lead by 2 points to no score.
Yeah, and that's what he's brilliant at. He's drifting away from Ronan Curran left and right, and he just really has to stay with him.
Brian Hogan again with a wonderful catch. So far, Cork's forward line unable to make any kind of impression on the Kilkenny backs, and that's Eddie Brennan there, untypically misjudging it, but it might yet come back to him. It does. Quick look around now to see what's on here. He's got to go for a score himself. That mightn't have been the best of options. Every quarter forward wants to get a score as quickly as possible, just to settle themselves down and reassure themselves that it's their day. But I think he had better options inside. Brian Hogan in some difficulty. Both number 6s in trouble. There's Brian Hogan going back. I think he landed awkwardly and requires some attention. The physio, Robbie Lodgen, there in the dock. Ty Crowley having a look at him. Is that his shoulder?
Looks to be his shoulder, maybe just overextended, catching the ball. Didn't look to be much in it, but you know, they really can't afford to lose him with John Tennyson injured. You'd probably see Jackie Turrell going centre back if he was.
Well, I wonder when we're going to see Paddy Hogan go centre back. He hasn't made his debut yet, but he's a player I've always had a high regard for.
He's a super player. He was a brilliant minor under 21. Brother Richie Hogan's. Yeah. Wasn't even on the panel last year, and you know, plays absolutely brilliantly anytime I've seen him. So it just shows you the strength and depth that they have.
Brian Cody's 6th time, by the way, to manage a Kilkenny team in the championship against Cork. 3 wins, 2 losses so far. And Brian Hogan seems to be okay, the 29-year-old from O'Loughlin Gales. Lovely clump, very close to Nolan Park.
Yeah, interesting so far, Donald going long with every puck out, you know, except for this one.
Yep, straight to Ronan Curran.
It shows you how, you know, that's what he's brilliant at.
To Niall McCarthy. Now they've built it up here with 2 lengthy passes so far. Now where can they go from here? Niall McCarthy is hooked splendidly there by Cha Fitzpatrick, and the damage once again being inflicted. Here's Richie Power, little hand pass back here. That was Eddie Brennan. Back towards Power, not really making a great deal of headway, but Brennan's in again, trying to steal inside between 2 defenders. Back out to Richie Power once more, and in the end Tom Kenny comes, tries to get it. Michael Fennelly in the white helmet gets it up onto his stick there. They wait for it. No room being given to anybody. And eventually out comes Sean O'Halpine and clears the danger for Cork under enormous pressure. Nothing going by that Kilkenny half-back line. Here's Cha Fitzpatrick, the midfielder. Niall McCarthy battling. In comes Pat Horgan. Horgan having a go from a distance. Will this land over the crossbar? The umpires look at it and say no, not quite. Maybe a yard out. But the first real shot at the